What's good, everybody? It's your friendly tour guide, Elevated Chillz, and today I have a special tale for you. This one comes from the book titled Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. And this one, folks, this one just might stick with you. Let's dive in, shall we? Footsteps is a scary story about two sisters who hear creepy noises when they are alone in their house. It is based on a true ghost story, and a version of this story has appeared in Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. In that book, it was told from the point of view from the older sister, but in the real version, it is the younger sister who is telling the story. From the time I was old enough to notice things, I didn't like that house. I was afraid of the upstairs, and I never felt safe there. Mother always kept the light burning at bedtime because I was afraid of the dark. One evening when I was 9, my sister was downstairs and I was asleep in bed. She was expecting Mother to come home at any moment. When she heard the front door open, my sister called out, "Hello, Mother," but there was no answer. She heard footsteps, but they didn't sound like Mother. Her footsteps were light, but these were heavy, like a man. "Who is there?" my sister called, but there was no reply. The footsteps continued up the stairs and wandered into all elements of our bedroom, but when my sister called out again, "Who is there?" the footsteps stopped. She was young and afraid, but she knew I was sleeping alone up there, so she took the lamp and searched all of the rooms. She even went into the attic, but she didn't find anyone. Not a single soul. My sister went back down to the dining room, but as soon as she sat down, the footsteps started again. They came down the stairs, only this time into the kitchen, and then the door of the dining room where my sister was sitting slowly began to creep open. She was scared out of her wits, to say the least. "Get out!" she screamed. The door slowly closed and the footsteps moved out through the kitchen towards the front door. She heard the door open and then shut, so she ran to the window to see who it was, but there was nobody in sight and there were no footprints in the fresh snow. That was when she realized that whoever or whatever had walked in, it wasn't human. She huddled on the couch and waited for Mama to come home. Not long after that, we moved out. But something strange happened before we left. My sister and I were in the living room when all of a sudden we heard terrible groans. It sounded like somebody was in agony. The groans seemed to be coming from the cellar. They were so loud that our dog started howling and the hair stood up on the back of her neck. She would always go anywhere with me, but when I tried to coax her to come down into the cellar with me and investigate, she wouldn't go. The cellar was well lit, so my sister and I went down, following the groans until we came to a little alcove, and there the groans ceased. I wanted to dig right there on the spot, but there was no time. I've always felt that if we had, we would have found the cause of all of our trouble. Perhaps someone's bones were buried there. We moved away soon after that, and Mother would never let me ask the people living there today if they had heard anything. We were all glad to get out of that house. I remember as a kid being terrified to death from this specific short. Ceilings just never looked the same, you know? Well, good night, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you next time.